And now, VermontViews.org contributor Shanta asks you to ponder this.
Trigger warnings. Are they attached to the cult of political correctness? Are we creating a culture of walking on eggshells? A couple of sources I've encountered suggested that we view trigger warnings as a part of a larger history of PTSD and trauma. On the other end of the spectrum is the suggested or actual use of trigger warnings for everything, including a potential reading of The Great Gatsby and or other potential educational materials. In a Guardian piece by Jill Filipovic, we've gone too far with trigger warnings. She writes, "There is real harm in utilizing general trigger warnings in the classroom. Oberlin College recommends that its faculty remove triggering material when it does not contribute directly to the course learning goals. For example," Oberlin says, "Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart is a great and important book, but it may trigger readers who have experienced racism, colonialism, religious persecution, violence, suicide, and more." While trigger warnings are legitimately rooted in creating and ensuring safe space, what is the danger if we overuse the language? And technically, we can ask this question of any term these days, really. Do we risk placing an overall trigger warning on life itself, placing a gag upon any potential dialogue or exploration that would come about based on whatever we might be exposed to? I've discussed this concept with a friend about a month ago, and he reframes the question by stating, "It is not the problem with the phrase trigger warning itself, but we need to ask ourselves, why are we so loaded in the first place?" I did not have an answer for him then, and I still think about the long list of things that have us all so loaded that one could fire, so to speak, based on what we came in contact with. The bigger question is, how do we find space between the creation of safe spaces without gambling away some of the ugliness that life often carries along with it?